Hello, everyone, and welcome back to continuing WFTDA TV coverage of Battle for the Coast for 2015. I am Tara Armoff.
And I'm Chloroform Cupcake.
And we are 30 seconds out from the start of this game. It is Sonoma County versus Derby Revolution of Bakersfield. Now, Derby Revolution, they won their first game this morning, 214 to 173 against West Coast Derby Knockouts. They lost to number one seed San Fernando Valley, 257 points to 69. So now they are here in a consolation game against Sonoma. Sonoma lost their game against the host Ventura County, 204 to 142. So yeah, it's kind of an elimination game that we got going on.
A little bit.
And the action has started. Rowdy Bout It jamming for Sonoma County in black, going up against Corn Dog red for DRB.
Corn Dog is your lead jammer for DRB. Rowdy Bout It trying to make her way through that pack, still having trouble being bounced to the outside. Finds her way on the inside. She's finally through.
Dog one to beat at the front of the pack. She makes it through, picks up her points, and quickly calls it off. That is 4 points for DRB. Sonoma County did not score after one whole jam.
She likes to hit it and quit it. Corn Dog has been all over the place today. That's kind of her style, to make it fast, quick, easy on the team. And so I think she's going to try to play this a little bit more smart. Call it off as soon as possible. Just pull ahead.
That too.
Yes.
Scarlet Rampage jamming for DRB up against Foxy Trotter for Sonoma County. Foxy Trotter at the front of the pack, facing a wall of red there. Scarlet Rampage getting through on the inside. She gets lead for DRB.
Absolutely. That pack was having trouble even getting to through turn one.
And Sonoma County already have a full blocker penalty box with 2 in the box. DRB 1 blocker in the box. Foxy Trotter coming up. Oh, we have ourselves a power jam. Scarlet Rampage sitting in the penalty box. This is a power jam in favor of Sonoma County. Again, Sonoma in the black. Foxy Trotter through. That is 5 points.
First lead change of the game. Who knew what happened in Jam 2?
Nice assist there for Foxy Trotter as she comes from a diamond as she comes up on the DRB wall. Sonoma County going for offense in this power jam.
It's still very early in the game, so good strategy, good call.
Foxy Trotter coming up for another scoring pass. Scarlet Rampage back on the track for DRB. She comes up against a Sonoma back wall. Scarlet Rampage looks like she's back to the penalty box. 2 penalties in 1 jam. I don't think she was wanting that to happen.
Absolutely not. But, she's not going to sit there for very long. But
now we have a high block on Foxy Trotter, so she's on her way to the penalty box. And we've seen this in a couple of games earlier today where we have a little revolving door.
A little bit.
On the jammer penalty box. These things happen.
I think it's the jammer's favorite little mind game that they play on the crowd and everybody watching.
So at the end of that jam, DRB 4 points, Sonoma County 15 at 26 minutes, 26 seconds in the first half.
It's going to be really interesting watching how DRB does, since they've already played 2 really very tough games, very physical games earlier in the day.
Oh my gosh, I hope everyone was able to tune in DRB SFV game, because that game was crazy, and that I'm hoping that DRB is able to retain that energy level that they had earlier today in this game.
I hope they ate a lot of bananas, because that's the only way they're going to get through this one.
And hopefully they didn't leave the banana peels on the track, as that was something else we were seeing a lot of crazy falls earlier.
It might be Mario Kart all over again. You never know.
Scarlet Rampage back on the track. Takes that inside line. She gets out and she gets lead for DRB.
Followed behind her is Foxy Trotter, but she's not able to break through the pack yet. So no points, double zeros.
Smart move by Scarlet Rampage. She gets out, she gets lead, she calls up. Let's get some fresh feet there on the track. See if DRB can regain their momentum.
Absolutely. So they're going to try to play it smart, which is a really good idea considering they're a little bit behind, but no big deal.
Need to be smart. Smart's good.
Numbers are hard, colors are good. Go fast, I have skates.
The score remains 4 points for DRB, 15 for Sonoma County. It is Reese Witherdoom for DRB up against Rowdy Bout for Sonoma County. Reese Witherdoom makes it out of the pack and gets lead.
She's doing very well. She's already fouled out at one game earlier today, but looks like she's got her energy back, commanding her pack to move fast. So she's just got one wall to get through, nails it, calls it off. Rowdy Bout is not able to pick up anything. 4 points go to DRB.
As she flew by that last line of defense, number 666, straight jacket, as if she wasn't even there. It's like, I'm just picking up my points. Excuse me.
I have things to do today, and please excuse me. Bye-bye.
And she got 4 points for her effort. DRB up to 8 to Sonoma County's 15. 24 minutes, 16 seconds in the first half.
Malice in Chains going for Sonoma and Call Me Corndog for DRB.
And it is Malice in Chains who gets out and gets lead for Sonoma County. We see a multiplayer. And we have Corndog on her way to the penalty box. This is a power jam in favor of Sonoma. She's going to the box for, it looks like a multiplayer block.
Yes. You usually don't see jammers pull that one off, but it could happen.
We're seeing a lot of things where we're going, anything could happen, and it is today.
Absolutely. Malice in Chains just leaping on the inside. Grand slam. Bringing the lead a little bit further from DRB.
Interesting that she chose to call it off in the middle of a power jam. We don't see that. That used to happen a lot more, like years back.
Right.
Like, oh, you mean we can stick someone even fresher out on the track and start off in a power jam?
Science.
Awesome.
What?
But that kind of has fallen out of favor in the past few years. You see jammers I'm just going to get all the points that I can.
Right.
So interesting little throwback strategy that we're seeing.
A little bit. We're going to get an official review here from DRB. But, again, to what you were saying, I think what they're trying to do is trying to go with the momentum these days. And so with the energy, they just really put it on the jammer to have that responsibility to get through that pack as best they can. And seeing that she had such a great lead, I thought that was very interesting that she did call that off. So we'll see how the rest of this jam goes. We're going to have a power start here.
That's a fun thing about being an announcer. We kind of get to be armchair quarterbacks to a certain extent and say, well, I don't know if I would have done that, but hey, what do we know? We're just announcers.
We just chat about Derby.
Talk
no
about
big deal.
Things.
So we're going to get an official review here, and they're going to let us know relatively soon what they're talking about.
And we also want to remind everyone that after this game, there is one more game today.
Yes.
And I can't wait to see that because it's going to be the local teams, two of the local teams against each other. It's going to be the West Coast Derby Knockouts going up against the tournament host, Ventura County. That's going to be at 6 p.m. local time.
That should be very exciting, especially for the locals, which you may not see them too much on camera, but they are filling up more on our door side here in the facility.
And again, this is the 8th annual Battle for the Coast. They've been doing it since 2008. Now, it's very convenient of them to have all these 8s, so I remember these things.
Right?
And we have Craig's Fist coming over to tell us what's going on.
Stand that the DRB team was contesting the multiplayer block on their jammer. The call will stand. Multiple refs did see the call as well as the before and after of the event, which is what refs have to do when they come together to figure out the actual call.
So again, that means that this starts off in a power jam for Sonoma County. They have put K-Wow on the line. She gets out. She gets lead for the ladies in black.
She's going up against Corndog as soon as she is released from the penalty box.
And speak of the devil, there she is, back out of the penalty box, back on the track and facing a 3-wall in the back.
This is where her style is really going to come into great play here. Lots of juking, lots of speed, and she's already right behind K-Wow.
K-Wow through for 5 points already, and it'll be interesting to see. Oh, she does call it off. I was hoping to see, because I like the different jammer styles of these two particular jammers, because K-Wow is she's just brute force.
Absolutely.
Just roars through the pack, literally, where Corndog, she's a little fancier. She got more the jukey little moves and such. She's wily, as I like to say.
Wily. She's got a lot of strategery of her movement, like a fox. Whereas K-Wow, I mean, she's like a blocker out of control when she jams, which is amazing.
She's an in-control blocker that's out of control.
Exactly. She's in control of her out-of-controlness.
K-Rush jamming for DRB. She gets out and she gets lead, followed behind by Rowdy Bout for Sonoma County. Spacey Lord's on her way to the penalty box for Sonoma. Now, we saw Spacey jamming a lot in the previous game that Sonoma played today. They're mostly using her as a blocker so far. I wonder if they're going to switch that up at any point.
That might just be some more strategery, switching up the jam rotation. They know they have a lot of game left to play, and, both of them having multiple games earlier. Well, Sonoma had the first one, and DRB had second, 2 of them. So that's just probably a really good call.
And DRB, it's game on, rest a game, game on, rest a game. And that, oh my gosh, that must be exhausting. DRB at 8, Sonoma County 25. Reese Witherdoom jamming for DRB, Foxy Trotter for Sonoma County.
We have about 20 minutes and 55 seconds left in this half, and it is Reese Witherdoom for your lead jammer for DRB.
Malice Chains trying to chase Reese out, was not able to catch her, having to let her go.
Smashley Koreshli just doing a job today, really being able to read the jammers and position her blockers, helping out her pack very well.
Foxy Trotter caught in the pack on her, trying to take the outside line. She takes the friendly side. She gets out, but not before Reese Witherdoom scoring 4 points and calling it off for DRB. That bumps them up to 12 points to Sonoma County's 25.
I think you're familiar with this term. They're just going to probably nickel and dime until they get to catch up to Sonoma. That would be the smartest thing, I believe. But we'll have to see how they finish off the next 10 minutes or so, and I think that'll give us a lot of futuristic ideas of how they're going to play the rest of the game.
Rowdy Bout for Sonoma County going up against Scarlet Rampage for DRB. Scarlet Rampage coming down the middle. She has one to beat in the front of the pack. Pushes Full Metal Jackie out of play. She gets lead for DRB.
Never count out the little ones. You never know what they're going to do. She's making quick work of her lead jam status.
Rowdy Bout powering through on her initial pass. Scarlet Rampage right behind her. Looked like she was going to try for that 5th point. Then she's like, man.
Smart. Absolutely smart. 4 points.
That puts DRB at 16 to Sonoma County's 25. Now, that nickel and diming is beginning to pay off for DRB. They're holding Sonoma County scoreless for 3 jams now, while they're picking up their points slowly but surely.
Absolutely.
And with 19 minutes left in the first half, 16 for DRB, 25 for Sonoma, we might see another lead change before the half.
I love the close games. Those are the best. So we have Malice in Chains for Sonoma. She's your lead jammer. She's going against Call Me Corndog for DRB.
Corndog making it out of the pack on her initial pass as Malice in Chains hits the pack on her scoring pass. Hops and skips along on the outside and quickly calls it off.
Hashtag amazeballs for Malice in Chains. I mean, you watched her earlier. Just an amazing skater. Great talent out there. If she can stay on the lighter end of penalties this game, I think she'll do great.
True story. 29 points for Sonoma County, 16 for DRB, just over 18 minutes in the first half.
Foxy Trotter for Sonoma, Reese Witherdoom for DRB.
Reese Witherdoom gets out and gets lead out there on the apex of turns 1 and 2.
Foxy Trotter still trying to get past the amazing defense at DRB.
This is definitely one of those days where I'm seeing DRB learning a lot in each game. It's like they had a solid win in their first game, and they got quite the spanking against SFV, and that was a game full of feelings, because that is a rivalry. Yes. Both of them love to win against each other. And so what I'm seeing now is DRB, even though they're behind right now, they're showing a little more control than what we saw earlier today.
Definitely. And that goes again to the gameplay, their strategic moves that they're doing here, hitting and quitting it, making sure that they are jammer awareness, doing very well, and their control in the pack has been excellent so far in this half. So
it's beginning to pay off. It's now an 8-point game. DRB 21 to Sonoma's 29, just under 17 minutes in the half. We got Scarlet Rampage back on the jammer line for DRB against She-Ra Badass, the team captain of Sonoma County, who was out in lead.
Looks like we have a high block for Scarlet Rampage, so she'll head to the penalty box. Definitely not what they needed right now.
She-Ra Badass picking up 5 points. She tries to take advantage of this power jam. Sonoma County setting it up, doing a little assist there, what I'm calling the Milady. Break up and distract that DRB wall. She gets through for another 5 points for Sonoma County.
DRB now at full strength with their blockers.
She-Ra coming up, squeaking by on the inside. That's another 5 points for Sonoma County.
Amazing work there by Sonoma, just collapsing the pack just enough so that She-Ra Badass can just get on through.
Scarlet Rampage out of the penalty box, back on the track, facing a 3-wall of Sonoma in the back.
Twisted Hippie getting a for a multiplayer block this time.
She-Ra through for more points. Scarlet Rampage right behind her. She was coming up on her own teammate, so She-Ra did the right thing, called it off before giving Rampage a chance to score upon her.
Well, now the gap has expanded itself just a little bit. We have the DRB at 21, Sonoma at 50. They were very close to catching up, but now
those power jams.
Absolutely.
These things tend to make the score uneven.
A little bit.
Just a little bit. Corn Dog jamming for DRB, going up against Rowdy Bout It for Sonoma County. Rowdy Bout It taking the outside. Corn Dog going down on the infield, having to reset behind. Rowdy Bout It out and lead for Sonoma.
She's finally through the pack, so we'll see what Rowdy Bout It does.
Full Metal Jackie for Sonoma County on her way to the penalty box. Sonoma County picking up 3 points on that jam before calling it off. DRB nada. DRB remains at 21 to Sonoma County's 53, 14 minutes, 25 seconds in the first half.
The militia seems like it's getting a little bit loose currently. Like I said earlier, their strategy wasn't staying consistent, and that would have been their main idea. But again, still very early. Anything can happen.
For the first time in this game, we see Bettin' Boppin' jamming for DRB, going up against Avanya Skulls, who I have not seen jam before for Sonoma County.
Neither have I. So Beatin' Boppin' is your lead jammer for DRB.
I love watching Bettin' Boppin' skate. She's really... Oh, they got it wrong. It's Spacey Lords. We've seen her.
Yeah, we've seen her.
This is what we get for looking at the screen instead of looking at the track.
Joke's on us. Maybe that's our secret drinking game, you know. If something happens, such as that. 2 points picked up by DRB.
That puts them at 23 to Sonoma County's 53, 13 minutes, 20 seconds in the first half.
20 points isn't really a very big gap at all. You can have one power jam, and then it just changes the whole game. So we're going to see how this plays out.
And again, DRB, their spare change is excellent in this
Absolutely.
game. If they keep their jammers out of the penalty box, again, we might see a lead change soon.
Well, we do have Malice in Chains for Sonoma going against Smashley Crashley. This is Smashley Crashley's first jam of this game. She's usually a blocker. She is your lead jammer for DRB.
Bond Girl going down in front of Malice in Chains. Malice in Chains out on her initial pass as Smashley smashes into the back of the pack on her scoring path. Nice hop, skip, and a jump by Malice in Chains as Smashley's calling it off. Unfortunately, not soon enough for Sonoma to score any points in that jam, but DRB looked like they picked up a couple of points. 25 points for DRB, Sonoma County 53, 12 minutes, 12 seconds in the half.
And it looks like we have Bettin Boppin jamming for DRB. She'll be joined by Foxy Trotter of Sonoma.
Foxy Trotter trying to take that outside line, trying to follow Bettin Boppin out, but it is Bettin Boppin for DRB out and gets lead.
And I believe she was fouled out also in the first game. Or maybe she got up to 6 penalties and just sat there.
She was sat out for a lot of the second half because I think she got her 5 or 6 penalties by the end of the first half in the first game that DRB played this morning.
So Beaton Botman's just going to grab her grand slam and then call it off.
30 points for DRB, 53 for Sonoma County, 11 minutes, 18 seconds in this first half.
Call Me Corn Dog is jamming for DRB and KWOW for Sonoma County.
Again, I love seeing the differences of these jammer styles going up against each other.
And this is exactly what you've asked for. Now we're going to see the Wiley jammer go against the Brute Force jammer. And she's got lead jam. That's KWOW of Sonoma County.
Corn Dog quickly following her out. Sonoma building a front wall. DRB trying to break it up. KWOW twirling her way around.
Fancy.
She picks up 2 points, shutting out DRB in that particular jam. DRB at 30, Sonoma County 55, 10 minutes, 23 seconds in the half.
That was so fancy. I mean, I really enjoyed that. Different styles on the track. That was
So
very
pretty.
interesting.
I like it when they skate pretty like that.
I just love that.
It's pretty and it's brutal all at the same time, and I love the dichotomy of that.
I like when the outside pack ref is just like, I'll just skate a little bit further away from this action.
Rowdy about it. Jam County going up against Smashley Crashley for DRB. Both jammers having difficulties breaking out of the pack on their initial pass. Rowdy, as she was getting out, Bond Girl blocks her to the infield. Rowdy having to reset to the back.
Excuse me, pardon me.
Smashley.
That's okay.
Rowdy about it, out and lead for Sonoma County. Smashley is sitting in the penalty box. This is now a power jam for Sonoma County.
Definitely not what they wanted to do for DRB, but DRB started off really slow in the first game, so maybe they just need to find their stride, and the second half could be anybody's game.
Interesting if they start the first game and then their second game against SFV was just crazy. All kinds of things happened in that game, and again, very high energy. And DRB, they seem to be still finding their equilibrium a little bit right now.
And they have the strong core, but trying to figure out that stride against a different team is where they kind of need that specialty. But we did have a star pass actually. Shira Badass is now your jammer for Sonoma.
Smashley still working on her initial pass through the pack for DRB. Shira Badass out of the pack. She has scored 5 points on that pass for Sonoma County.
Well, look at that. Another star pass. I don't think we've had anything like this, 2 star passes in one jam.
Anything could happen today,
Anything?
apparently. And yes, the star pass was to the pivot Tonka Toy, the founder of DRB.
Nice. Wow, now it's turned up a little bit.
Tonka Toy scoring 4 points for DRB on that pass.
The crowd is just pumped up now. They like seeing a lot of chaos on the track, and that's what's going to happen when you do a lot of star passes, especially when both jammers do it. So that was interesting.
And interesting with the star passes so far, they've been actually fairly obvious. They don't do the star stash where they pass the helmet cover and not put it on, because now, of course, we all know now that you can just hold the helmet cover in your hand and make your way through.
Absolutely. I think maybe part of it was during the SFV game where the wonderful star was missing from the track.
The entire
Absolutely.
Bettin' Boppin' out and lead for DRB. She's going up against KWOW for Sonoma County. Bettin' Boppin' tiptoeing on that inside line.
But you just look at that. She just finds the inside line, sweeps on through. KWOW is on her 6th, though.
Sonoma County trying to speed up the pack, making it difficult for Bettin' Boppin' to score. Bettin' Boppin' taking out her own teammate with a belt whip. I love that stuff, too. Oh, my gosh.
They're kicking it old school a little bit when they do the belt whips and everything else. So we're seeing little blips of the old school, whether it's hitting heavy or just going back and forth with the score. I like that. I like it a lot.
I like it a lot. It's really cool. So awesome. Oh, my gosh.
I like it a lot.
We have a timeout right now. The stands 41 points for DRB, 68 for Sonoma County. 6 minutes, 36 seconds on this half clock, or clock for the half or something.
One of those numbery things that counts down for us.
Counting is hard, I'm telling you.
Wish they had like those little revolving things like on the Mac when everything has to take forever to load. I will understand
the little
that.
Beach ball, the little rainbow beach ball.
Yes.
Now, this is a team timeout. And it is being called by Sonoma County, which is interesting because with them being in the lead. Now, of course, DRB has been dominating the past few jams, so maybe Sonoma is going to take advantage of their team timeout. It's like, okay, what are they doing that they're all of a sudden stymieing us? This is, yeah, Craig's fist, just a team timeout.
Just a team timeout. Yeah, it's interesting they did that because they did have more control of the pack, as well as, icing the other team by taking a timeout is an option, but it didn't seem necessary just now. So maybe they're just trying to give their own team a break, too. We can never tell what happens in team timeouts. We just speculate. That's what we do.
Because it's fun.
Yes.
Shira Badass out and lead jammer for the Sonoma County All-Stars. Race Witherdoom trying to take a shirt whip off of Tonka Toy to make it out on her initial pass.
Insane blocking by Malice in Chains.
Race out of the pack on her initial pass. Shira on her scoring pass. She picks up 3 points for Sonoma County, calls it off before Reese Witherdoom gets a chance to come around and score any of her own points for DRB. That means DRB still at 41 points to Sonoma County's 71, 5 minutes, 40 seconds in this half.
So, on average, they were waiting around 20 points between them. Now we're at 30. Sonoma is pulling ahead a little bit here, and they're playing a little bit slower in a way that they're more calculated with their pack. So I think that's probably the key to Sonoma. DRB, however, finding their sea legs with their lead jammer, Bettin' Boppin'.
Now, they seem to have her fairly solidly in the jammer rotation for this game. Earlier was on and off in their earlier 2 games. She's doing well against Sonoma County, so hey, why not put her out there?
Absolutely. Foxy Trotter is now through the pack. Bettin' Boppin' now scoring some points. She's going to call it off.
That was a nice, I like the dual spins. Diamond spins around to try and catch Bettin' Boppin'. Bettin' Boppin' just spins around Diamond and says, I'm calling it. Take that.
Nothing you can do to me now.
Ha ha.
Neener.
45 points for DRB, 71 for Sonoma County. 4 minutes, 36 seconds in this first half.
This score is pretty close. All the teams today were playing so feisty that the score just either it blew up or it was very close, like by maybe 5 to 10 points.
Well, and I think this differential that we're seeing right now is because of the power jams in Sonoma's favor.
Absolutely.
If those power jams didn't happen, this would be a much closer score. So this an interesting lesson for DRB. Again, if they keep their jammers out of the box, they're going to stay competitive in this game.
Absolutely. Rowdy Bout is your lead jammer for Sonoma. Call me Corndog for DRB, still trying to fight through that pack.
She jukes around the partnership of Sonoma in the front. She makes it out on her initial pass. Rowdy Bout on her scoring pass. Ducks under number 666 straight jacket of DRB to help score her those points for Sonoma.
Derby Revolution of Bakersfield had really good blocking technique when they would have like two of their blockers just recycling with each other and rotating. You're not seeing that this much this half. You're seeing the pack kind of work together and fall apart together.
But they're doing it together.
So it's like a sisterhood of the traveling blocker pants right now is what's happening. So we have Spacey Lords jamming now for Sonoma. She's your lead jammer going up against Bettin Boppin for DRB. I think that the DRB is trying to find a stride with Bettin Boppin here.
This is the first jam that I have seen Bettin Boppin be jammer where she's not just totally gung-ho through the pack. She's taking her time, and I don't know whether that is just strategery or fatigue.
It may be a little bit of both. However,
she did not make it out on her initial pass in this jam, and that is only 2 points though for Spacey Lords in Sonoma County. This just gets curiouser and curiouser. DRB at 45, Sonoma County 77, 2 minutes, 20 seconds in the first half of this game.
A little bit of spread out packs.
Oh, I see skaters up by the pivot line. What's that about?
It's a new trend we do in Derby. Sometimes we just scoot on up there.
I thought that skaters weren't even told about the pivot line anymore.
Malice in Chains is your lead jammer for Sonoma. She's going against Call Me Corndog of DRB.
Corndog making it out on her initial pass as Malice in Chains jumps to the outside, scores her points, and calls it off. Speed totally in her favor on that round.
She's a lot like KWOW in the fact that she's got the momentum that she can really pull on the outside. And then with her skillery, just, tippy-toeing on the inside when she wants to. So those are some lethal jamming techniques.
And I think also the Sonoma packs are beginning to pick up on, because in the first game today against Ventura, they were in the front of the pack most of the game. And it wasn't until well into the second half where they were getting used to playing the back of the pack. So the pack is becoming as malleable as their jammers are.
Absolutely. Rowdy Bout is your lead jammer for Sonoma. She's going against Reese Witherdoom for the DRB, the militia. You know what? How many lead jams has Sonoma taken in the last, 6 jams? I think they've had lead jam.
We can find out at the half because
Yes.
Ms. Com is keeping stats of such things.
Fancy. Some of us can multitask, some of us cannot.
Yes.
So thanks for Miss C.
DRB 45, Sonoma County 82. About 30 seconds left in the first half of this game. We have time for one more jam before the half.
It's go time. Scarlet Rampage for the militia. Foxy Trotter for Sonoma.
Scarlet Rampage facing a 3-wall of Sonoma at the front, trying to squeeze her way through. Foxy Trotter taking advantage of that. Has one to beat. Tonka Toy finds herself out of play. Foxy Trotter is your lead jammer.
Lady Boner headed to the penalty box. Oh no, another power jam then for Sonoma. Scarlet Rampage is in the penalty box for a truck cut.
So emo. Oh my gosh.
Totes.
Foxy Trotter taking full advantage, 5 points already for her and Sonoma County. Sonoma County stopping that pack at a dead stop. And interesting, DRB trying to run away from that, which means they are already putting themselves halfway out of for potential for out of play. And as we see, Foxy Trotter making it easy to get through. That's 5 more points for Sonoma County.
Absolutely. Definitely took advantage of that power jam. We're going to go into the halftime now. The Militia sitting at 45, Sonoma at 92. It's pretty unbelievable how that last few jams Sonoma just pulled right ahead and very strategic in their moves.
It seems like they have learned, again, they've learned a lot just from their earlier game against Ventura today. They seem to be putting that knowledge to good use where DRB, again, I'm trying to get a feel for, they've played, this is their third game already today, and so is fatigue setting in? Or did they leave it all on the track for their SFV game? But again, they had the slow start this morning. It's like, it's hard to say.
What do I do with my hands? I
don't know.
Exactly.
So while we ponder these questions of life, we're going to take a little break, and we will be back in about 14 minutes.
Thank you so much.
I got a little. I went and took a photo of the penalty board.
Oh.
So
Distracted by doing work, son.
Yeah. So let me see. Okay, stuff. Doodles. There we go. DRB has one skater at 4 penalties. That is their rampage. We saw her go into the penalty box on Power Jam. So
yeah, she had a twofer in one jam. So
that's right.
Reese Witherdoom, your lead jammer for the Militia.
Sonoma County playing really good game. One skater with 2 penalties. That's the most on that team.
That's their strategy. Hit it, quit it, and stay clean. That sounds a lot different than
they seem to have learned a lot from their first game against Ventura today.
Yes.
They want to stay in this tournament. If whichever team wins today will play at 10 a.m. tomorrow against the winner of the game after this.
Excellent. So a lot of moving pieces, but we'll have all the information to you after the last game. So fancy.
So yeah, just stay tuned in. We'll tell you things.
We will tell you all the things that we have.
And some of it might be true.
Some of it.
Back to the game. K-Rush jamming for DRB. She gets out and gets lead for DRB. Foxy Trotter for Sonoma County has 2 to beat in the front. She gets around betting bopping, and she's out on her initial pass. Sonoma County at a slight blocker depth. No, they got the full pack. Okay, but the pack has slowed down. We see a somersault there on turn 4.
I mean, I heard that all the way up here. So
yeah, that was very solid.
It sounded like a turtle and a half shell, just Ninja Turtle powered all over the track. That was pretty amazing, actually.
48 points for DRB. Again, they are in red. Sonoma County 92 in the lead, and they are in black. 28 minutes left in this game. Shira Badass, the team captain of Sonoma County, jamming against Bettin' Boppin' for DRB. Badass getting caught in the back, Bettin' Boppin' out and lead for DRB.
She's making quick work of this lead. Shira Badass not too far behind her.
DRB goading in the back of the pack, holding back Spacey Lords.
That's 2 points.
And was able to get 2 points on that. They were able to break apart Sonoma County's defense just enough, pick up a couple points. Again, that spare change, nickel and diming this. Again, if they keep their jammers out of the penalty box, 50-92, 42 points, that is not an insurmountable point differential to overcome.
Absolutely. If you were tuned into our first game, you saw that there was probably a 35 point differential, and they came back from that. So you never know.
These sneaky derby players, you never know what they're going to do.
They train for this kind of stuff. Ninjury.
Reese Witherdoom jamming for DRB, getting out and getting lead. Rowdy Bout it for Sonoma County, just shooting past, call me a corn dog there. Corn dog taking a term as blocker this time around.
Rowdy Bout it just totally stalking Reese Witherdoom on this track. She's going to try to take a whip off one of her players. Maybe get 1 point. Yes, she gets 1 point for the Militia.
Leaving Sonoma County scoreless, 51 for DRB, 92 for Sonoma County, 26 minutes, 18 seconds left in this game.
So here's maybe a little bit of a different matchup too. We have a very tall jammer going against a really short jammer. Not really short, but height does throw a difference how you do a jam.
It does make the styles a little bit different.
Yes, it does.
And again, another fun dynamic to watch.
Absolutely. And Malice in Chains is through. She's your lead jammer for Sonoma.
Bettin' Boppin' caught up in the back on her initial pass. She's taken that outside line. Is able to stay in bounds and gets out on her initial pass as Malice in Chains is on her scoring pass.
She's going to call that off right there. Malice in Chains, hitting it, quitting it, get the 4 points. But you know what? Beatin' Boppin', I think that's her secret sauce, going to the outside, especially on the turns. I mean, she just glides through like it's nobody's business.
Remember when you first started Derby and you're told as a jammer never take the outside line, and that was the rule for it.
Absolutely.
Years and years, and now we're seeing the improvement in skill on everyone where a jammer can power through on the outside. It's like, screw physics, I'm taking advantage of this and getting around all of y'all.
I think that's the main excitement level too of how the Derby game has revolutionized and evolved, because it seems like they recycle a lot of old works when it's ignored for a little bit.
Foxy Trotter out and lead for Sonoma County. Corn Dog quickly following. She has about a quarter of a track to catch up to Foxy. Sonoma County packing it up in the middle, going towards the front. Oh, Foxy taking the outside. She gets passed by Corn Dog. Corn Dog has 3 to beat in the front.
Amazing work right now by the militia, really just swallowing Foxy Trotter.
Foxy Trotter finally making her way out, getting her 4 points as well. She's not calling it, which is interesting. Again, she is lead jammer.
She does what she wants.
Corn Dog squeaking by on the outside, picking up her points. Foxy Trotter just going for broke. Has a 3-wall to beat in the front of red.
Miss Hostility stuck behind the 4-wall. Lucky for her, the jam is off.
And interesting because Hostility looked like she was allowing herself to be goaded a little bit, and just as Corn Dog was coming up against that 4-wall that Hostility was stuck behind, Hostility was about to do kind of the Milady assist as the jam was being called off. So timing's a little bit off, but good strategery when you have the time for it.
Absolutely.
DRB with 59 to Sonoma County's 104, breaking the center. And bopping, jamming for DRB, but it is She-Ra Badass for Sonoma County, who is out in lead.
I didn't even see her get through the pack. It was like she just vaporized and then came up to the front.
I think she did some time travel.
I think so too. Too much Doctor Who for her.
I'm wondering where she put the TARDIS.
Right? Oh, maybe it's under her panty. Her stall panty.
She-Ra making it through, picking up 5 points for Sonoma County. And do we have a Scarlet Rampage? Still, hard fall there by Malice and Chains there in the back for Sonoma County. A little slow to get up. Scarlet Rampage getting recycled to the back of the pack. Another 5 points for She-Ra Badass in Sonoma County.
Scarlet Rampage is just doing the best she can, having again to the back of the pack. She-Ra Badass, however, just saying hello, goodbye, Bond Girl. I'm taking 5.
That's another 5 points for Sonoma County. Scarlet Rampage just not being able to break out of that pack. She's just getting swarmed by the Sonoma defense.
Absolutely. And you're noticing maybe, too, a little now from the militia. They are playing a little bit slower. Could be from the, 2.5 hours of Derby they've played today. But, it's going to force them to do some control work here, so that's probably a good thing.
Rampage finally making it out of the pack at the very end of the jam.
It doesn't matter how you start, it's how you finish.
So DRB remains with 59 points. Sonoma lengthening their lead to 123 points, 21 minutes, 17 seconds left in this game. And again, whoever wins this game will continue to skate tomorrow. Whoever doesn't win, they get to rest for the rest of the week.
They get to sleep in a little bit tomorrow morning. If you have never had the chance to come out for the Battle for the Coast, you really should make it a point next year. This is a fantastically run tournament. You're missing out.
Rowdy Bout it out and lead for Sonoma County. Bettin' Boppin', still the go-to jammer for DRB, still has not made it out of the pack. We see her being recycled to the way back.
Oh yeah, she's definitely tired. This is not strategery. This is, I've played 2.5 hours of Derby today. So, taking a big hit there from Sonoma.
Oh, their track cut called on Rowdy Bout. This is a power jam for DRB. This is exactly what they need and a good time for them to have it. We'll see if they're able to capitalize on this.
Absolutely.
Forearm being called on KWOW. Sorry, JWOW. KWOW. She's on her way to the penalty box. Betting bopping through for 5 points for DRB.
Betting bopping asking her team to play some offense here. Diamond. Oh, she's got to be careful with that skate.
She was able to get back behind Diamond, so she did not draw a track up. From our point of view, it looked very obvious that she was about to do something bad, but Diamond didn't slow down, so Betting Boppin was able to reset right behind her.
Good call. So she's trying to capitalize on this. 35 seconds left to do that. Rowdy Bout is back in this game.
Betting Boppin letting her go. She has to conserve her energy, so she's going to let her go. I predict a call off. No, she doesn't call it off. She's going for broke.
Well, she can't because she didn't get the lead jam position,
right.
And so we don't have a lead jammer for the rest of this jam.
Goes the full 2 minutes, and if I were paying attention more, I would know that. Hello.
There's just a lot of colors and flashies and stuff right now in this facility, so it's okay. Got a lot of cuts. She's got a track cut at the end there. That's interesting. 75 for the Militia, 136 for Sonoma. We have about 18 minutes and 38 seconds left. Yes, she did get the track cut at the very end there. That's unfortunate for the Militia.
Unfortunately, because it is their jammer, this is now a power jam for Sonoma County. Foxy Trotter, the jammer of note for the ladies in black. Fantastic defense by DRB, though, right now. Sonoma going for the passive offense. Foxy Trotter gets out. She does get lead for Sonoma County.
And one of the things that I've loved about this tournament so far is just the fantastic great hosts, and I have to say the officials are on point. They have done such great work, both reffing and NSOs, just fantastic. Oh, huge hit there at turn 1.
And that is Bond Girl on her way to the penalty box. 4 out of play.
That'll happen.
Betting Boppin back on the track through for her initial pass for DRB.
Michelle O'Trauma just laying the hurt on Foxy Trotter. She's calling it off. Oh, fancy cute pose there.
Wow, Betting Boppin does a Superman throw there on the apex between 3 and 4. It picks up a couple of points for DRB with that smooth move.
Smooth operator.
I like it. That's 77 points for DRB, 144 for Sonoma County. 17 minutes, 5 seconds left in this game. K-Rush jamming for DRB, going up against Malice in Chains for Sonoma County. Malice in Chains shooting out of that pack, out of turn 1, getting lead jammer.
Wow, she made quick work of it too. She's already at the back of the pack. K-Rush just trying to get past K-Wow.
Both jammers through.
Nice hit from Twisted Hippie.
Girl coming out of the penalty box, trying to set herself up in front of Malice in Chains to slow her down, but both of them are going so fast. Momentum's just carrying them through, and Malice in Chains like, I've had enough. Calls it off. Again, Sonoma County has just been slow and steady this entire game. After that first initial lead change, after Jam 2, they have just dominated this game, and DRB trying to come back, and they've come close. They've come within spitting distance, but again, I think the fatigue has really set in. This is their third game of the day.
And aside from the fatigue, the clean skating by Sonoma County. You know, Rowdy Bout is your lead jammer for Sonoma. She's going against Reese Witherdoom of the Militia. You know, the Militia does have more penalties against them, and I think that's definitely playing into the score, but also maybe their momentum as well.
And we haven't seen Scarlet Rampage jamming a whole lot in this half because she had so many penalties at the half, and I think that is affecting DRB's scoring ability as well. 15 minutes, 20 seconds left in this game. DRB still at 77. Sonoma County 153.
Looks like we're going to have Corn Dog for the militia lining up. She's going to go up against Foxy Trotter of Sonoma County.
Corn Dog using her fancy footwork all on one skate. Barely gets pushed out. She has to reset behind the entire pack. That was sure pretty, though, while it lasted. Foxy Trotter getting pushed out on the inside. She does get called lead jammer for Sonoma County, I do believe. Yes, she does.
Twisted Hippie headed to the penalty box for the militia. Both packs sitting around turn 3 and 4.
Wow. Foxy Trotter going for, looked like she was going for the inside line, then shoots for the outside, gets past, but she was able to pick up 3 more points for Sonoma County.
I was really surprised that the militia didn't pick up any points there because Corn Dog looked like she just about had it, especially coming out to the outside so quickly.
But again, with her own team in back,
yes.
Like, oops.
Whoopsie doodle. Colors, minor detail.
Reese Witherdoom jamming for DRB, going up against Shira Badass for Sonoma County. Reese Witherdoom out and lead jammer.
Shira Badass is still in the pack, trying to make her way through past Tonkatoy.
Sonoma's pack spread out a little bit. Reese taking advantage of that, picking up 4 points, calling it off.
Spacey Lords from Sonoma County headed to the penalty box. So both teams will have a start with 1 down, 1 blocker down per team.
81 points for DRB, 155 for Sonoma County. 13 minutes, 13 seconds left in this game. We see Corn Dog in the infield having a little chat with the refs. That's interesting. Oh, that's right. You can do that now, right?
Yeah, you know, they haven't really addressed it too much. I mean, if she had jumped on the track at the time of the whistle, I think it'll be a little different, but she's stuck in the no harm, no foul.
Betting bopping out and lead for DRB. Rowdy Bout it, jamming for Sonoma County. And she's recycled to the back of the pack.
Twisted
Betting
Hippie.
bopping, getting through, getting her 5 points.
Fantastic. Great for Benton Bopman. That's what she needs right now. But Twisted Hippie headed to the penalty box yet again. She just got out, so you know, the penalty count probably a little bit higher for the militia than the Sonoma County.
Sonoma County really putting the speed on in the pack near the end of that jam, and I think they are trying to take advantage of the fatigue factor because both teams, this is their last game of the day, and this is the last game for the tournament for one of them, and Sonoma is determined to make it the last game for DRB. 89 points for DRB, 155 for Sonoma County. 11 minutes, 48 seconds left in this game.
Reese Witherdoom for the militia. Malice in Chains for Sonoma.
Wow, Malice in Chains just going for it on that outside line. Gets out and gets lead for Sonoma County.
She's like, yeah, I'm going to come in and then I'm going to score. Okay, thanks, bye. Wow, Miss Hostility just kind of left alone on the outside line, so Malice in Chains just made quick work of her.
Wow.
A little bit of banter, but good sportsmanship between Reese Witherdoom. And that's 187.
Full Metal Jackie on her way to the penalty box.
Yeah, a little bit.
A humorous out of play, though. It's like Reese Witherdoom's like, stop hitting me, but I'm going to laugh at you anyway.
Yes. That's probably definitely fatigue setting in at that point where everything is just so hard, it's hilarious.
DRB 89 points, Sonoma County 164, 10 minutes, 40 seconds left in this game.
Corn Dog on the line for the militia, Foxy Trotter for the All-Stars.
Both jammers pushing on that pack, trying to get through. Foxy Trotter caught on the inside. Corn Dog taking that outside line, getting out and getting lead.
She's making it look really easy, especially at that speed right now.
And again, the floor, we've talked about the floor before. It is a very slick floor that has coating on it, and sometimes that'll wear down during the course of the day, but the way these teams are playing, it looks like that is not even an issue at all.
And this is very, like you said, polished. I mean, you can see your reflection in it. Most tracks are not this slick, so good on them for just being able to juke as much as they do.
Full Metal Jackie back to the penalty box again for
out of play.
At least she's consistent.
Yeah, see the positive. She's a consistent player of out-of-play penalties. She's having fun. Obviously, they're feeling the flow right now. 9 minutes left, so.
Corn Dog making her way through. That's another 5 points for DRB. They have now broken the century mark, and her team is very, very happy about that.
60 points separate these teams. And we saw in the beginning, you just don't know. It can go either way.
Foxy Trotter having trouble getting past Tonka Toy, and she gets a forearm penalty for that. Maybe this is the comeback for DRB. Power jam for Corn Dog and DRB now.
Corn Dog she's like, I'm going to hone in on this. She is going now.
And the crowd is telling her, just keep going. You have a power jam. Go, go, go.
They have the chance. I mean, it's still there.
That's another 5 points for Corn Dog. She does call it off. 114 points now for DRB, 164 for Sonoma County. That's 50 points. Oh, I almost did math. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
8 minutes, 26 seconds left. If this momentum keeps going, we might have a very close finish.
Yeah, and I think Sonoma County All-Stars felt that. That's why they're calling the team timeout right now. Maybe doing a little icing to the militia.
I think they got a little excited.
A little bit.
So they're probably being told, chill. The game's not over till it's over.
Absolutely.
And
we know from the militia's gameplay that they do take a little bit of time to warm up and kind of find their flow. So, they came out of the gate with a game plan and then implemented it. And then it seemed to really pick up in the first 5 to 10 minutes. So it got a shorter warm-up period in the second half. So good call, and Sonoma County All-Stars calling a little timeout here.
And again, this is the first elimination game of the tournament, so whoever wins will be playing tomorrow. The other ones are on Team Heckle for the rest of the weekend.
There really should be a T-shirt for that. # Team Heckle.
There is.
Oh. Well, then I have some shopping to do.
Yes. We'll talk later.
Yes. Sounds good.
Craig's Fist telling us it's just a regular team timeout. Refs
having a pep talk among themselves.
Making sure everything's cool. Everything's cool. We're back to the game. Bettin' Boppin' back out jamming for DRB. She gets out and she gets lead. Foxy Trotter still caught up in. Foxy Trotter back on the track after sitting in the penalty box. And look at that, DRB defense just holding her to a standstill.
Insane web work right now. I mean, they are just they're pulling out all the stops right now. With 8 minutes left in this half, they have to.
Yeah, they got to put it all out on the track now.
5 in the sky, Bettin' Boppin', Grand Slam. They're closing that gap.
That inside line being left almost wide open. Bettin' Boppin' going for it. She does get pushed into the infield. She has to reset. And we do have Foxy Trotter does a little star stash, taking it off, putting it back on as she gets out of the pack.
Bettin' Boppin' calling it off before Foxy Trotter could get to score any points. She picks up. Did she pick up any points on that last pass?
5. She picked up 5.
Wow. Good call, Bettin' Boppin' and the militia. Smartly played that last jam.
Well played, DRB. Well played. That puts them up to 124 points to Sonoma County's 164. 7 minutes left in this game.
Would you look at that? 40 points separate these teams. I'm so happy that it's on this even, so I can just do a quick math calculation.
Don't have to use fingers and toes or anything. It's great.
Absolutely. Rowdy Bout it for the Sonoma County All-Stars. Call me Corn Dog for your militia.
Corn Dog trying to get through that 3-wall, that triangulation that Sonoma's using. Again, using that outside line to her best advantage, getting through and getting lead.
Absolutely. Rowdy Bout it is still being caught behind that militia wall. She's going to take a little bit of a whip. Whoop! There's Corn Dog. Thank you. Come again.
I like that big step that she takes as she's going that fast, like, I'm just going to squeeze through and get my points. Thank you.
Absolutely. The pack is looking to speed up, and they do. Rightly so.
That's right. Sonoma County trying to make it difficult for Corn Dog, but unfortunately for them, Corn Dog likes this fast speed. She operates really well going this fast. She picks up another 2 points for DRB on that last pass. That bumps them up to 131 to Sonoma County's 164. 5 minutes, 46 seconds left in this game.
Oh, this is amazing. This is what you want. Hashtag amazeballs, because when it gets closer, especially in an elimination game, I mean, you have everything in the line. Both teams don't want to be eliminated. Definitely want to continue into this tournament.
DRB has finally found their groove. It's a beautiful thing to watch. I love it. Malice and Chains out and lead for Sonoma County. Sonoma County saying,
Not on our watch, madam.
Reese Witherdoom making her way out of the pack as well for DRB. Oh, outside line left wide open. Malice and Chains taking advantage, picking up her 4 points and calling it off.
You know what? That might be the All-Stars' way of kind of just throwing a wrench in Militia's plans, because that seemed to come out of nowhere. I mean, they threw in a really fast, heavy-hitting jammer, made the pack go fast. I mean, it was like a huge play in just that one jam.
And I think they're also taking by surprise. Now, DRB, they came in 4th seed in this tournament, and Sonoma County was seeded 6th. So a little bit of an upset if this momentum keeps going. And so it's like, surprise!
We came to party! Okay, wow, jamming for the Sonoma County All-Stars. She's your lead jammer.
Smashly Crashly jamming for DRB. Coming up against a 2-wall of Sonoma in front. Momentarily getting caught behind, almost getting recycled back in, but she does make it out on her initial pass. KWOW through, picking up 4 points for Sonoma County.
You know, I haven't gotten to mention it yet. It has done amazing blocking work all day, and she's just amazing to watch, because she not only puts a hit, but she also just blocks all day. I mean, you want the inside? No way, Jose.
She knows what she's good at, and she does it very well. She's
very well.
Like, okay,
honorable mention for sure. Score 131, the Militia, against the Sonoma County All-Stars 172. 3 minutes, 30 seconds left.
Corn Dog back on the line for DRB, going up against Malice and Chains. Slow start, quickly gaining momentum. Malice and Chains going for the outside. Corn Dog going for the outside more. Both of them breaking out of the pack, but it's Corn Dog who is lead jammer for DRB.
It's like a day at the races. You just don't know who's going to come out of that gate. We'll see what strategery happens here. Oh, wow. Malice and Chains just follows her on the inside hole, and busting through.
There was only like 2 inches of space.
No, exactly. Just enough room for a skate to go through, barely. And Malice and Chains, well done.
And again, because DRB was just lined straight up across the track, as soon as she took advantage of that inside line, Malice picked up those 4 points like that. And again, making it look so easy.
Definitely teams will learn from this move, because just because you open up that inside line just for your jammer, when it happens that fast, you got to close that really quickly.
Bettin Boppin back on the line for DRB. She trying to get through there. Shira Badass jamming for Sonoma County. She gets out and she gets lead.
Bettin Boppin finding the inside. Full Metal Jackie giving her a strong hit, but it doesn't deter Bettin Boppin.
Pack kind of getting spread out there. Oh my goodness. Again, inside line left wide open for Shira. She takes advantage, picks up 4 points, calls it off. Bedenboppen looking frustrated. Understandable. This has been a tough game for her.
And I think, too, that the momentum shift that the militia felt had to be consistent long enough for the team to catch up. But I think just the fatigue is just really playing a factor right now. But they're still playing a very, very good game.
It's a very dynamic game. It's still fun to watch. And sometimes this is becoming one of those games for the spectators where the score doesn't matter.
Exactly. Rowdy Bout is your lead jammer for the All-Stars. Reese Witherdoom is your jammer for the militia.
She gets around Malice and Chains at the front of the pack. She's out on her initial pass as Rowdy Bout comes up on her scoring pass, trying to get around the DRB's partnership there on that inside line. She has to juke to the outside. Reese Witherdoom now in the pack. Unable to score any points, though, as Rowdy picks up 4 for Sonoma County. We have less than a minute on the game clock. So one more jam, I would say. DRB 135, Sonoma County 184.
This will probably be the last jam of this game. So we're going to see probably all the stops just pulled out for the show.
Foxy Trotter jamming for Sonoma County, going up against Corn Dog for DRB.
Foxy Trotter is your lead jammer for the Sonoma County All-Stars.
Again, just powering through on that outside. And
Nice
we have
star
a star pass to Bedenboppen, which is something I would do if I were in DRB situation.
Absolutely, and plus, why not? We're going to call down to the jam clock now.
Foxy Trotter in on her scoring pass. She has 4 blockers to try and get around. The recycling is pretty solid, but she is trying to power through on the outside as much as possible. She barely manages to stay in bounds. She calls it off. Time has run out on the clock.
We're going to go ahead and get that final score for you in just a few moments.
The unofficial final, 138 for Derby Revolution of Bakersfield, 188 for Sonoma County. I think it is safe to say that Sonoma County will move on to play at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning in the second game of the day tomorrow. And again, they are going to be playing the winner of the next game, which is going to be a hometown battle of Ventura County, the host of Battle for the Coast, going up against a West Coast Derby Knockouts.
So, amazing work by both teams. DRB has got to be exhausted, but they, played a fantastic last game. So it was very well done. Amazing work. I'm really looking forward to the last game of the day. It's going to be feisty fight, so stick around. Yeah, I liked it a lot.
like you're just like, I think I'm done talking.
I think
now.
Yeah, I think I need a little bit of a nap or some coffee, something like that.
Excellent. Well, our next game will start in about 26 minutes. Again, that will be the hometown game of West Coast Derby Knockouts versus Ventura County. This is Tara Armoff.
I'm Chloroform Cupcake.
And we're going to take ourselves a little break, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Dude, I do a lot of shit around this house. You can pick up a little slack once in a while. All day long I cook and clean. Pick up kids, it's quite a scene. Dinner ready for the man. He gets home, he sits on his can. All I need is a little break. Why won't he just clean his plate? He gets home, he sits on the couch. I look at him and I start to shout. Why won't he just do the dishes? Why won't he just do the dishes? Why won't he just do the dishes, man?
Up at 6 in the shop, gotta beat it in and out. Everybody's on my back, feels like everyone's on crack. All I need is a little break. Get in early, I get home late. I get home, the house a wreck. Kids are screaming, what's the wreck? I don't wanna do the dishes. I don't wanna do the dishes. I don't wanna do the dishes, man.
Oh man, you shit around, you don't clean up anything. You're a talk, snack all the time.
Talking about yourself?
I'm talking about myself, not at all. I'm talking about you.
I don't wanna do the dishes. I don't wanna do the dishes. I don't wanna do the dishes, man.
Dude, I do a lot of shit around this house. You can pick up a little slack once in a while. All day long I cook and clean. Pick up kids, it's quite a scene. Dinner ready for the man. He gets home, he sits on his can. All I need is a little break. Why won't he just clean his plate? He gets home, he sits on the couch. I look at him and I start to shout. Why won't he just do the dishes? Why won't he just do the dishes? Why won't he just do the dishes, man?
Up at 6 in the shop, gotta beat it in and out. Everybody's on my back, feels like everyone's on crack. All I need is a little break. Get in early, I get home late. I get home, the house a wreck. Kids are screaming, what's the wreck? I don't wanna do the dishes. I don't wanna do the dishes. I don't wanna do the dishes, man.
Oh man, you shit around, you don't clean up anything. You're a talk, snack all the time.
Talking about yourself?
I'm talking about myself, not at all. I'm talking about you.
I don't wanna do the dishes. I don't wanna do the dishes. I don't wanna do the dishes, man.
Dude, I do a lot of shit around this house. You can pick up a little slack once in a while. All day long I cook and clean. Pick up kids, it's quite a scene. Dinner ready for the man. He gets home, he sits on his can. All I need is a little break. Why won't he just clean his plate? He gets home, he sits on the couch. I look at him and I start to shout. Why won't he just do the dishes? Why won't he just do the dishes? Why won't he just do the dishes, man?
talking about you.